Good. Everybody's awake. We got a great food truck in the back. Please feel free to enjoy. What a beautiful day to be part of history. It is with great pride and deep sense of responsibility that I welcome you all to the ribbon cutting and groundbreaking ceremony for the village at Legacy Park, where we stand today. Before we begin, I'd like to recognize a few distinguished guests joining us today. And this is always the most challenging part of any speech. Reverend Dr. Victor Aloyo Jr., President of Columbia Presbyterian Seminary, thank you very much for your beautiful invocation this morning. It sets the tone of what we are and who we will be. Georgia Senator Elena Parent, who, she gone already? Yes. They did tell me to run quickly, but really thank her for her remarks and really appreciate that she took her time to visit and be with us today, knowing that she had a very busy schedule. The Mayor of the great city of Decatur and our gracious co-host this morning, the Honorable Patty Garrett. The Honorable U.S. Congressman, Mr. Hank Johnson, who graces our stage today, and whose office I was at a couple weeks ago. Madame Lorraine Cochran Johnson, the Cobb County CEO. Georgia State Representative, the Honorable Miss Mary Margaret Oliver. HUD Regional Administrator, we've been connected for a few years. First time I met her in person, super excited. Administrator for Region 4, Miss Denise Leggett. One of our own, the Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director, previous to me, Mr. Doug Faust, whose vision and leadership led to this day. Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Decatur, Mr. Tony Powers. Someone everybody's eager to listen to today. Not putting you on the spot. Mr. Dorsey Noble, a proud resident of the City of Decatur, a former resident and now caretaker of Legacy Park. That's history. I can't wait to hear from your comments. Our amazing Decatur Housing Board Chair, Miss Melissa Hefner. I'd also like to mention the rest of our incredible supportive board. Our co-chair, the Reverend David Lewicki, the Honorable Judge Cinque Axum, Tennille Bailey Esquire, Mr. Chet Burge, and our resident commissioner, who was really the first person to arrive, Ms. Belinda Seats. You know, this is why I fear this part, because I did not realize how much love many of you had for this site, for this project, and how much support you give us each and every day. And we've had more people come to visit us. So if you would indulge me for a second. I'd like to acknowledge our federal representatives here, Neil Van Marder, with U.S. Senator John Ossip's office here today. Our board chair, Cinque and I were at your offices in March and had a great encounter there. Trey Riddle with Congressman Nikema Williams' office. Thank you. An organization's success depends wholly on the caliber and dedication of its team. Well, there are countless partners, stakeholders, and supporters who form an invaluable part of this success. Far too many to name, unfortunately. I would like to acknowledge a few additional key members of our team who have been truly integral. Ms. Andrea Arnold from the city is the city manager of the City of Decatur, and I really enjoy our partnership. Our financial partners, Tom Schaefer and Advantage Capital, Sunny Swords and her team with Hudson Housing Capital, Yolanda Marshall, Kels Carroll of Sugar Creek Capital. Don't go away, guys. I'm going to need your money later on, sooner than you expect. Sylvia Monsiavis and Janina Gray of Bank of America and their team. Frank Fernandez and Sarah Kirsch of the Community Foundation of Greater Atlanta. Our legal counsel, Arnold Golden Gregory, especially Althea Broughton and Joe Brock. Althea, I know I've seen you here today. Thank you so much. And our general counsel is on vacation, Scotty Candler of McCurdy and Candler. Our general contractors, Nathan Lubin of Lubin Enterprises, Inc., Mike Creedon, Colin Edelstein, Marley Schumann, Richard Newman of North-South Construction, who is proudly building our phase 2 with that beautiful red Carolina, Georgia clay. It's the same in Puerto Rico, which is horrible. I've been in it in these shoes. Trust me, it's not a good sight. And Lubin, obviously, who are almost in their completion of phase 1, behind and around us today. Our project management consultant, Mary Beth Bauer of the Hemingway Group, invaluable assistance you provide, and really appreciate it. Our designer and architect, as a fellow architect, I'm kind of biased on that side, Sarah Butler and David Hamilton of Praxis 3, and our community stakeholders. Again, too many to mention, but I would like to make a special announcement for certain people that are here, especially Dr. Gima Whitaker, superintendent of the great schools of Decatur, and her team coming here today, and the Decatur Education Foundation. Both education was a passion of Doug's, it's a passion of mine. The support that they provide to the youth of our community is invaluable. If you want strong communities, you have to make sure our youth are first. So thank you. And finally, I know there's a name I'm missing. Finally, I do like to mention somebody that's very special, someone I consider a friend that made this vision into reality, and that's Miss Sarah Partnow. She's in the back there in the burgundy. She was our Director of Development, and we'd like to thank you for that. 2 other people, District 1 Commissioner Robert Patrick. Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure meeting you at the CAB activity a few weeks ago. And District 2 Commissioner Michelle Long. Thank you. To any elected officials, representatives, please stand up and be recognized at this moment. We thank you for your support. Ted Terry, District County Commissioner. Our heartfelt thank you for those partners who I have missed, community members, and all here today, especially our amazing team. If you see them in their blue shirts with our logo in the back on their chest, please take a moment to say hi and thank you. We can't do this today without their support. I love them. This is what we're about. It's a team effort. This is more than just a celebration of bricks, beams, and blueprints. This is a celebration of hope for families, for our shared future, and for a community that refuses to leave anyone behind. This development, 66 units in phase 1, as you see, and another 66 units coming soon, marks the first ground-up, affordable, attainable family housing community built in Decatur in decades. There have been others, yes, but these either replaced existing affordable communities, were naturally occurring, or have targeted residents 62 and older, which is also a significant part of our communities. Village at Legacy Park is different, and it's been made possible by Preserving Affordable Housing, Inc., a proud subsidiary of the Decatur Housing, in collaboration with the great city of Decatur and our many public and private partners who believe that modern, safe, and stable and attainable housing is not a luxury for a few, but a right for all of us. This project, soon to become a living community, represents a total development investment of over $49.3 million. That's true public-private partnership. But let's be honest. This is where I keep it real. We can't be here today simply to cut ribbons and break ground if we're not also willing to speak the truth. There is a housing affordability crisis in our country, and it's right here in our backyard. I, for one, am tired of attending conferences, symposiums, and meetings that continue to talk about this crisis as it just surfaced, with few solutions offered to address it. Across the region and nation, the cost of living has outpaced wages, which is no surprise to any one of us, forcing more and more working class families into impossible choices between rent, food, healthcare, and transportation. It should not be that way. These are our teachers, our first responders, many of which are here today. Thank you, Chief, for attending. Grocery clerks, sanitation workers, home health aides, and the countless service workers who keep our communities not only working, but thriving. But let's also acknowledge another group that rarely gets mentioned when we talk about this issue. White-collar professionals, both young and old, recent graduates, and the thousands of middle managers who keep our back offices running. Those that know me are aware of my love for baseball. And unfortunately, last night my Mets lost against the Braves. But it's not the win yesterday, it's who will be in the championship at the end of the year. So let's go Mets. It's a sport I love, that my family has played, and that I still play when time avails. Therefore, if you allow me 1 second, I ask you to indulge me in providing some context through baseball itself to remind us of a sobering fact. Minor league baseball players make between $19,000 and $35,000 a year, most of whom will never get that coveted cup of tea in the major leagues. In Georgia, the average individual income is under $43,000, just a little over $20 an hour. Given how well the Braves are represented in our area, it's not inconceivable that some of these players live and work in their off-season within our communities. Bringing it home, the median individual income in Decatur as of 2023 was close to $77,000. And the average household income is estimated at over $140,000. You do the math. Within our own Decatur housing team, a majority of which can't live in Decatur, some by choice, but also due to affordability, we have members who commute to our office in over 2 hours to get to our office at 7:30. The vast majority average over 1 hour, depending on the infamous Atlanta traffic. And then there's a group no one talks about in these conversations. It's about telling our story. Our medical residents. Oh, they don't need affordable housing, you say. Decatur is a proud home to one of our nation's most respected institutions, Emory University and its prestigious medical school. According to ZipRecruiter, first-year medical residents earn between $15.62 and $35.34 an hour, with most making between $22.60 and $31.97, regardless of geography. So that's here, New York, anywhere. Many of these newly minted doctors begin their careers mired in over $228,000 in debt. I know because I've worked in an ER alongside many of these young doctors, and it takes years for them to make any significant dollars to be able to purchase and live in a decent home. These are those people, that a few vocal neighbors oppose when we propose new attainable housing solutions in our communities. They are our parents, our children, our friends, our colleagues. They are we. And yet, they're not able to afford, send our children to one of the highest rated school districts in the state. They're not allowed to work and play in the very communities they serve. They are all of us here today. That is unacceptable. Today is a celebration, yes, but it must also be a call to action. We cannot stop at one project. We cannot pat ourselves on the back for building these 132 units if we're not also committed each and every day, at every level, to supporting more housing for working families, preserving what we already have, and investing in policies and partnerships that promote long-term affordability and attainability. Let Village at Legacy Park serve as a model, not an exception. Let it be the beginning, not a capstone. To our partners, advocates, elected officials, and most importantly, to the residents who will soon call this community home, thank you. Thank you for believing in the power of attainable housing to change lives. Thank you for reminding us when we build for people, we build stronger, more resilient communities for everyone. Let's keep building. Thank you.